Well, we are back out at a spot that I've probably only made one video at here, but I've probably been here about twice. Now, I'll put a photo of the video up here that I did do out here, but I did find a silver spill under a tree, and there was a settlement out here in about the 1870s. And it was out here, sort of thing, and there was other stuff in here, but I did do out here one time, and there's just a heap of rivets and rivet washers, but you know, we may do over here again, but we're just going to see what we can find. You know, there's not a heap of signals out here other than the silver spill and that I found, but you know, we'll have another look and see if we have missed anything. And we're just boiling the billy before we even start. So we'll make ourselves a cuppa. It's a fresh sort of morning, winter's morning, and we'll see how we go. Bush teaspoon. Gonna say from the start that I said before about rivets and stuff being here, and I've just ground balanced, swung around, had a 24, and we've got our first rivet washer. So I reckon they're gonna plague us today, but anyway, we'll see how we go. Hear a bird tapping way up here, and I finally spotted him. He's up in the fork there. Now in here is where the little settlement was, the majority of the buildings, and you can see a bank running up here, back down here. And I don't know where it goes, but there's, you know, banks all the way along here. They're a good marker of where things might have been, so I'll see what we can find. I'm just sort of doing up the side of the track and outside here at the moment, see if anyone dropped anything out here, and then I'll head in here and see what we can find. Definitely going to be plagued by these today. They are everywhere. So anyway, lovely signals, but just rivets and rivet washers. Apart from rivet washers and rivets, the other thing that's going to plague me is shotgun ends. There's no shortage of those out here either. So anyway, they're quite deep, so I'd say they're from the settlement days, you know, 1800s. But anyway, there's quite a lot of them out here. Had a 15 down here, and a bit of glass came up. Bit of old bottle. Crunched on the spade, on the shovel. Sound like a pommy if I say spade. Anyway, 15, and I have spied it. And it does look rather exciting. Is that part of a snake buckle? Or what? Oh, it is too. Look, still got a snake with it. That is absolutely brilliant. Now, better zoom out. I have never actually found one of those with a snake still intact. So that's a first for me. And that is absolutely brilliant. So, looks like a two-headed snake. We'll have to give that a clean and see how it comes up. But that is brilliant. I thought it was just the buckle bit, but I've got a snake too. So let's give that a clean and we'll be right back. And there we have our snake buckle. Two-headed snake. She is pretty fragile on the loop there. It's not far off dropping off actually, but that is absolutely brilliant. Found a complete snake and buckle, but not the other side bit, but you never know, we may find it yet. So that is absolutely beautiful thing to find. And I'm going to see what else we can find. So, you know, I didn't know if I'd find much out here today, but through all the rivets and shotgun ends, that is a pretty good find. Well, we're going to try a live dig. We've got a signal here, but it is fluttering around a bit like a rivet. So we'll see how we go. It is quite deep though, so I'm going to say it's about there. So I'll give that a dig and see. So it's sort of 18, 19, jumping around into 20s category. So we'll see what comes up. And what is that? Looks like a bit of handle off a teapot or a jug or something. So anyway, I don't think that's our signal. We'll see where she's gone. We'll lift the handle here in this clod. Now, there's something round, but I don't think it's coin sized. I think it's more rivet sized. There we go. So, another one of those. That one has not even been used. Anyway, 8 down here, and I do remember there is quite a few little rifle cases out here, but there's not a heap of signals, and it is an old site, so I am digging low numbers. You know, you'll get buttons and all sorts, but our 8 is down here. Not quite sure what it is, whether it's a wheel off a toy train or don't know, out of a clock, don't know, something completely different. I'm nearly going to say it was a wheel off a toy, but I don't know. Anyway, the hub and one spoke's missing, so don't really know what that is, but anyway, it was an 8 on the Equinox 800. So the other thing I'm digging is bits of melted metal, brass. So quite a bit of that out here as well. There's a bit of rusty metal. Say they are some of the worst sort of signals to try find. Rusty iron with a copper rivet round it. The rivet's giving off a good signal and the rust is blocking it, and between the two they can be quite frustrating. Thought that was the end of a teaspoon, but I'm not so sure now. Could be, but it looks a bit more Don't know, maybe it's off a window latch or something. Well, the rivets are teasing me and plaguing me with nice numbers that give you a bit of a chase, and then you're left with a rivet, but got something a bit different here. Old doorknob, brass doorknob. So there we go. We must be near the front door. Maybe. Anyway, it's actually in quite good shape, that one. Quite often they're cracked out here, or they're squashed or bent or dinted. That one is actually still quite shapely. Anyway, in the same hole, I just noticed this one with the doorknob. So that would be a lid off either a teapot or a pot of some sort, or a storage container-y thing. Anyway, it's the same brown sort of colour as that handle thing we found. Still got a beautiful gloss on it. I was waiting for this moment. 15. It's not a rivet washer, it's our first button. And it's a 2-holer. So I'll have a quick see what's on it, if anything. It may just be plain. I'll just get a bit of sunlight on the job here. I think she's a plain one. Just check the back. But I think, yep, just a plain 2-hole button, but quite a nice one. A little bit of pattern, that's about all. Anyway, I'll keep going, but that's our button for the day. Just pulled that button out of there, and I've got another 15 here, so I think we've got our twin. I'm really going to say it's going to be the same as the other one. Maybe. Or maybe not. That might be a 4-hole one. So I could be wrong. So, we'll see if we can see anything on him. I reckon there is something on that. So, I'll give it a clean and I'll be back. Now, it's a little bit hard to read, so I will confirm I got the name right on the screen here, but from what I can see, it is Rothan, or Rothland and Stevens with a V. And down the bottom there, I reckon it says Sandhurst, which is the old name for Bendigo. So I don't believe I've found that tailor's button before, but I could be wrong. But anyway, I'll clean it up better at home and get a bit more of this off, and I'll probably be able to read it better. Can't see anything on the back. And anyway, so 2 buttons under this, around this tree, so we'll see what else we can find. I've got to say, it's a frosty old winter's morning, but the days are just absolutely beautiful. I just dug the button there, and we've got another 15 here. So can we be brave enough to say we've got button number 3? I nearly reckon. I'm nearly 90% sure this is going to be a button. So let's see. Going to be proved wrong, I think. It's going to be a jolly little bit of melted metal. So there you go. Don't count your buttons before they're dug. That's a lesson there. You can hear the old swamp harriers. I think we're going to have to call this tree the 15 tree. 15 button, 15 button, 15 bit of metal, and we've got another one. Same numbers. So I'm not saying anything this time. We'll see what it is. Bit of old china there. I'm nearly guessing it's going to be in our plug here, but we'll see. And we're not, we're still in our hole somewhere, so this time we got it. We got another button. So 15 button tree, we'll have to call this spot. Button number 3. What is that one? I reckon it's a plus ultra, or ultra plus, or whatever they are. That's what it looks like to me. Try and zoom in. NE plus ultra. I think that means the very best, if I remember rightly. So the very best button. They did like boasting about their button quality apparently. You get those ones, the very best, and you got best string edges and best eyelets and best make and all these sorts. So they were vying each other for the best quality buttons out there apparently. That one's actually pretty light, so anyway, they were a pretty common button. All in the same spot, and just here's where we got the other button. We've got another one. This one was only a 10. So I think if I get any more I'll have to stop filming them because it's going to be all buttons otherwise. Don't know what's written on that. Just pulled a bullet case out of there, and also some bit of unusual glass. Quite pretty. So I don't know what it was, vase or a glass something. And also out of the hole, don't know if we're about to find it now. I threw it under this tree. Here we are. We've got a neck off a bottle. It's an old cork bottle. And it looks like it's been handmade, the top there. It's been added on later by the looks. So, you know, some old bits of glass. Still near this tree, and I did find a couple more buttons, and then I found a thimble, which is quite fitting. So, buttons and thimbles. And umbrella parts. And judging by the way the grass is growing out of that, it was sitting up in the ground about like that, I'd say. Now, under these trees here, there's a bit of a mound, and there's quite a few bits of brick. And over, it's a bit hard to see, but over there's another mound. And so I'm thinking possibly chimney mounds, but I don't quite know. But anyway, there's definitely been some kind of building in here. And, well, we've got our bank running up here and another one all the way around the back here, and it goes across. But anyway, I had a 30 sort of number down here. Pretty faint, pretty deep. But it also looks pretty good. What is that? Now, ringing up at 30, it does look copper, which is a rather high number for a Britannia. So, I don't know, I'll have to clean it up and see what it is, but I nearly think that's Britannia there. Anyway, I'll stop speculating. In fact, I'll just run the call over again. 21. Don't know. Anyway, I'll give it a clean and see what it is. Sort of mainly focused on the date area here, but I reckon it's 1880. I'm going to say 3. Could be 8, but I think it's 1883. Britannia penny, and I haven't really even attacked that side yet, but that'll be a young bun Queen Victoria. But anyway, a little bit more scrubbing. Looks like she will, clean up reasonably. So you can see our little boat down there. Anyway, 1883, I think. So we did get a coin, which is good. I was sort of thinking, not going to get a coin today, but then that one popped up. So anyway, I'll certainly scout this area a bit more and see what else I can find. Jolly noisy crow cutting in there. How's that for a ring? Big old ring. I'd say it's had a chain either side there. Anyway, it's a bit big for my finger. Maybe it's a bangle. 13 down here, and I am in the vicinity of where I found this silver spill when I first came out here. So anyway, out of 13, it's a little projectile musket ball sort of thing. Nearly say it's from a pistol or something, but it's a very small one. But anyway, some kind of musket projectile. Don't know why that won't focus for us, but anyway, let's zoom in manually. Anyway, bit of lead. Old King Brown's been dropping his skin here. Quite a big one by the looks. So anyway, hopefully he's asleep for the winter. Now I had a 20 sort of 3 here, and it's another day. We're out again here in the bush for another afternoon, and I'm over sort of near where people camp, so this could be just a bit of rubbish, but however, I'll see what we're starting our day with. I reckon it could well be a bit of a rivet, I'd say. I reckon that's what it is. Anyway, I'll keep going. Near this big old stump here, had a 8-9 sort of signal, and we have got a button. It's going to be a pretty light little one coming in at those numbers. In fact, it's very thin, and I don't think it has anything on it, so it's just been pressed together by the looks. just under these two saplingy sort of trees here. Had a 13, and we've got another one of the little musket bull type things. And there is another 13 over here somewhere, so possibly another one. But anyway, see how we go. Well, got another pretty deep 16 signal, and I reckon we've got another button. It's a 4-hole one. Thought that was a tarpaul at first, but it's not. It's got a little thing there, so I'd say that's like a breather hole for a tent or something, possibly, or a breather hole for something through canvas. I had a 20 here, and I was nearly going to turn you on, and I thought, I'll just dig it and see what it is this time. And of course, it wasn't a rivet washer. It looks rather like a penny. Rather like one indeed. And coming in at 20, I'd say it's a Britannia. So, well, we'll do it the honours. We'll get the brush out and give it a proper old clean, and then we'll be back. But I'm guessing a Victorian Britannia, probably 1880 something. That's my guess. See how we go. We're rather overcast at the moment, but that cleaned up rather nicely for a copper. 1884 Britannia penny. It's got quite a nice shine on it. And on the other side we do have Queen Victoria there, bunhead. So anyway, that is rather cool. So I'm going to do a few circles around this spot and see if there's anything else in the area. 14 down here, I'm sort of going up and down this way, and over there near that tree behind this tree is where I got the penny, and had a 14 here. We've got a corset fastener, and I believe it's just a plain one. Still got a bit of the iron on it, the iron strap. Anyway, don't think I've found one of those out here before, so at this particular spot got another one. The other one was just here. Got one here, so we might find a few more yet in this spot. I think there's about 5 of them on a corset, on a strip. There's an iron band between them. So number 2, we'll see if we can find all 5. In the muddy wet, we got a cog out of a clockwork something. Now, failing to get anything on the way back to the car, this will probably be my last hole. And it's quite a doozy of a hole. It's a big old hole with a deep signal. The start of this video, which was another day, I was out here. I found somewhere over here the snake and the D-buckle. And I'm sort of wrapping up for the day, and I'm coming up here, and I had a sort of a 18, 20, 21 number here. Digging down and down, and I finally got it. We may have done it. We've found the other piece. That is absolutely brilliant. So that is going to be the first complete snake buckle I've found. I'm assuming that is actually part of the same one, but considering the other bit was only over here somewhere, you know, it's a good chance it was. And that is amazing. So I've found my first complete snake buckle, both bits, both halves, and the snake. So that is absolutely brilliant way to end the day. You know, I didn't think I was going to find it. Then I came back over here, had this really deep scratchy sort of signal, and we did it. So I'm feeling rather chuffed to have found the other half to it. So, you know, it's a nice way to end. So I will put them together with its other pair in the wrap-up, and we'll see them together. Now, we are back at the car, and when I started, I sort of went off out this way, and I'm coming back, and I had 2 beautiful signals here. One here, one here. Dug that one, and I had this big brass cap. It's got a fine thread in there and a little hole. So, don't know whether it was an oiler or like a greaser, screw-on greaser thing or something, or a cap off an old kerosene drum or something. Another signal, good signal here, and we've got a horse buckle. So right at the car, 2 thumping good signals. So we might have a quick whiz around and just make sure there's nothing else, seeing as there's 2 bits in one spot here. Looks like they're sort of been burnt, I think.